Hey y'all, how are you doing? It's good to see you people. So, I'm just chilling right now, checking out the settings. Can you all hear me? It's been a while since we streamed, and it's good getting back here. Wow, we already have like 7 people watching, huh? That's awesome. Hi Roll Zolo, hi Alexander, hi you, hi John. Good to see you all. Hi King Marcus. How are y'all doing? Great. How are the settings? Like, is the music, okay? A bit overwhelming? Or like, I don't know. How many females did I got of yours? No idea. Like, I can check right now. Quite a lot. Yeah. Quite a bit from you, really. That's cool. At least 10 right now I'm seeing. I have over 20 that I haven't checked yet. That's bad. That's not good. Yeah, I'm getting emails. I just like have hundreds of people writing me every day. Some people like send me 50 emails at a time, and I'm like, not getting back to everyone. Like, I prioritize people that I work with mainly with sessions, and once I get most of the sessions handled, I can actually give my free time to others who are in need. So yeah, like, I'm not the best at prioritizing, but I'm doing it. So yeah, what was happening with me and Anouk, and who's equal? I guess whoever said equal just misspelled my name or something, because my name is Aquila, and whoever he's talking about, he either had a typo or something, I don't know. And the thing about him, he wrote me an email like a while ago, like asking for help and stuff. I said, yeah, I can help whenever I have free time, and since then I was like overloaded with over like 200 sessions. Like, people just started buying like 20 at a time and stuff, so like plenty. And people buy more sessions than I can do in a day, so like I'm getting overloaded. And like today was like super productive because I got like tons of sessions done. I made like 4 videos and stuff, and like did other projects that I really like have a high priority for. So that was handled. And basically, Anouk, he's not getting my replies, and he's like a little kid who wants a candy in a store, and if he doesn't get it, he's just crying and making a scene out there. And basically, if he's not getting my attention, he's getting pissed off and telling me to fuck myself and shit like that. And I'm like, oh well then, whatever. So yeah, so I'm basically just giving priority to people that I'm working with, and you know, if he doesn't like me, that's okay, that's his thing. So there it is. That is the story. You love flannel shirts? Yeah, they're good. Iraq, gosh, every single day, huh? Thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. Why are you donating every time? It's so weird. Like, it makes me happy, kind of motivating me, but at the same time, like, every single time you drop this money at me, like, what the hell, mate? Why? Yeah, whatever's about the Anouk, you know, if he wants to handle it, he has to be patient. Otherwise, you know, it's pretty much like being a little bitch about it. So yeah. He reminds you of Nan. I don't really remember Nan. Like, I remember seeing the name, but that's where it ends. Like, it's just stuck there. D, you sent me an email. Okay, I'll definitely check you right now. Uh-oh, could you resend me an email? Cause like, if I like write D, in Yahoo email, I have tons of people that like starts reading with deep scan and shit like that. So finding your name is gonna be really hard there. But I do know that you're on the list, I think. Let's see. And what's with the music? Can we get something better? Okay, do I consider my job a spiritual business or a public service? I think it's both. It would be wrong if I say that it's not a business. I am really happy that something that can be helpful for others, I can use to make money with. And that is my only way of income right now. I am not going into the store working for 12 hours, because in Lithuania, you work either 10 or 12 hours, and good luck paying your rent, because the minimum rent, the minimum wages are like up to 400. So my rent is already exactly of what would be the minimum wages, and I would have to work my ass off every single day. And with giving sessions, I make more money. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Because if I was like working with Lithuanian salary, I could not do it. But I'm working with all over the world, and like because of you people, I can live my dream. And it's pretty simple. Like, it's not like I'm rich or something, but I have a great PC. I can give plenty of sessions, and I'm just like really happy right now. So yeah. But then again, like if it wasn't for them like trying to cover the business and trying to survive, I would be all out giving sessions every day. Because right now, like, I just want to handle as many sessions as possible to have free time to give away sessions. Because like I love finding people in need, finding people that need help, and just giving that to them. So yeah, I guess it's a bit of both. King Marcus, you're trying to have a newbie, but think about it too much. So what is it exactly you're thinking about? Like, you know, like you're thinking about having a newbie, you're just wondering how to do it, we're thinking of ways and the issues you have, or what is it? Because like a quiet mind is one of the bigger parts that can help you with getting out of body, but all these thoughts where you stop yourself and like, I can't do it, I'm not unlucky, here, this, another day, I haven't got out of body. You're programming yourself with limits. You're programming yourself with, I can't do it, I'm not good at it, it's not gonna happen. And basically every time you think about it, that you sort of reflect and you maybe failed, you didn't achieve what you wanted, it's sort of like overlaying your beliefs and abilities to with, can't do it. So thinking about it in that way can actually limit it, yeah. But if you can focus on yourself and try to like sort of at least imagine, like fake it till you make it, just tell yourself a story about like, oh, today, like, just light your ass off. I just got out of body today, I had this awesome experience, I like learned a lot, and finally I found a way that I can like maybe create something new, or like I found this like song that I'm gonna write here on Earth and stuff. You know, anything, you're just like basically being happy about it, but you start like sort of like programming yourself that you actually can get out, and that will be open to you, so there's that. Yeah, I'm not seeing you on the list. Like, if you wrote, there's parts where people write either to me or Rich. So if you wrote to Rich, I do not have your email, and that's not good. But like, he might have it on his end. I might write to him on Skype, ask him. Yeah, I sent Rich a message. Like, he might have your info, but I'm not sure about it. Question, do you need consent to use a person's image in your own realm? No. It's pretty much like on Nerf. Just like Rich's body back. Yeah. Okay, the Rich will check on you, he'll check if he has your email. Basically, getting back to you, do you need consent to use person's image in your own realm? The short answer is no, because in life right now, if you were to focus and you're just basically thinking, let's say, the other aspect of you, a person that you like, person you admire, you think about them, you have the image in your mind. You don't need to ask, can I think about you, please? You don't need that. So same way over there, if you create their image, you don't actually summon their consciousness, you don't actually summon part of them, you're not gonna mess them up. You're basically, you take like, let's say, their reflection, a part of them, and that's it. You're gonna have them in there, and it's still okay. The harsher part that where you would need the consent probably is like, you know, can you actually, hey, could this being, could I take part of you as a consciousness and put you in my realm because I really like you, or something like that. That you know, that would be good if you ask for it, but like, again, a lot of people don't ask for this stuff, so yeah. Okay, so if you wrote to us, Rich isn't finding anything about you. We have a lot of this interference. Like, for example, people buy sessions and we don't get anything. No notifications from PayPal or anything. So that might be part of it. So if you haven't gotten anything back, any of the clients, please write us back. Just send us thing like, you know, like, hey, about a session or something, or I just need help, can't pay for it. Something like that, like, because a lot of our emails either end up in spam or just don't get to us. We have a client that actually bought like 5 hours worth of stuff. I gave him like 7 sessions. The 4 of them that I sent, he didn't like get anything, and for like 2 months later he was waiting and like basically, hey, where's my stuff? And I'm like, hey, I sent you that 2 months ago. And like, hey, so we have this interference going. So if you have any issues and stuff, write to us. You know, be pushy and persistent, because with this kind of work we get a lot of this kind of pushy stuff from other side. He found another D from about 2016. Alright. Just handling stuff with Rich, making sure he has stuff on his side. Okay, how do you give back infections to other beings that do this stuff to you? Like send it back to them, possibly because of bullshit damage, but also don't have your full story. I probably have your full story. Like, there's 20 emails from you that I have not read yet. Like, there's like plenty of emails coming every day, and I do not give priority to everyone because I'm still handling the old ones. Like, there are people that are still waiting from July, and it's like messed up. But yeah, I'm trying to handle them. So I haven't, probably have your full story, but like I haven't gotten back to you yet. But how do you get back your infections to other people, or like beings that do this stuff to you? I think the best way to do this, the best way to handle such stuff, is to focus on where is it coming from. Do you know specifically, like for you, is it actually like some other ETs? Is it Mina doing that? Is it some of those servitors gone bad on you or something? Who's exactly doing it? And then look if there's hierarchy. Look if there's someone above them, like someone who might be above them, like giving the commands, trying to mess you up. Sometimes they turn invisible, try to blend in the surroundings and stuff. So, you know, if you know who's above them, just removing the top role will help you. Hey Zach, nice to see you. Zach, have you got my sessions? Like, I send you at least one session, and I haven't gotten your reply whether you got it or not. Some people like get it in spam folders and stuff, so hopefully you got it, but if you didn't, I'll resend it to you. Chris, okay, can I answer your question? Have I seen a reptilian? Yes. I've seen plenty of them. I'm smiling because they're amazing. They're really amazing. Some of them might not be good, because like when we talk about reptilian, most people think about like in a negative way. Oh, they're bad, they're attacking people and stuff like that. But when I think about reptilian, it just like seems like they're super smart, they're intelligent, they're not into killing people, they're not into like slaughterhouse things, more like they're looking for ways like how can we handle stuff without killing anyone, because we want to make sure that we can use them. So like they're looking for the assets, they're looking for ways to use this and stuff. But reptilians are amazing in that way. They're super intelligent. They're like, if you met them, they think ahead of us. They're like, I don't know, like it's just awesome. And yeah, like I just did a video today. There was this like new race. In English, it's called the White Ash Clan. But let me look at the notes. I had this weird name, Crouton or Crouton. Crouton, I think it's Crouton. Basically, this race is kind of like tall white reptilians who are like it's a hybrid. It's like about like 17-20 feet tall. Looks like this white reptilian, but at the same time it's kind of like mixed up with the amphibian because it has those little like fins or like like just like yeah, weird kind of like fishy looking things on the sides, like kind of like ears. Like on elbows they also have stuff here, like a little kind of like tail and stuff. And they're also like like no scales, like completely like very cold skin, completely white, and kind of like humanoid, like 2 arms, 2 legs and stuff. These beings are crazy, awesome, scary, dangerous. It's basically like they're working as a completely different group. Like they're not connected to the humans or the dark side or anything. Like they're working like as their own clan. They're working like as their own thing, completely separated from them all. And basically, this group, they're like doing this whole like galactic trading. They're involved in this like black market stuff, and basically, their main target is people that die, people that are gonna pass away, and specifically, at the moment of death, when people pass away. I'm just like gonna take off my headphones because like music and stuff is distracting me and stuff. But anyway, yeah. If the music is distracting you, let me know because I can turn it down or turn it off and stuff. But anyway, so reptilians are like this specific group, like yeah, like White Ash Clan. They're targeting people that are gonna die because at the moment of death, when a person closes their eyes, like like this is the end, and basically they're gonna open their eyes in their spaceship. So basically, these guys are gonna sort of abduct the consciousness before they get to like really move over, like really wake up and understand what's going on. And they wake up in this spaceship that works like a Faraday's cage. So all of a sudden, with their technology, they're able to sort of like trap the consciousness, make sure like it cannot move, it cannot get out of the spaceship, so it's kind of like stuck. And then basically accessing our Akashic records, different things, making sure they see how worthy we are, like how much can they trade us for and stuff like that. Like not specifically the money, but they can get like armies, spaceships, planets, stuff like that. Like depends on our worth and stuff. There's a lot to it, and I made like a whole video about it. But yeah, I'm just saying like that. There's plenty of reptilians, lots of different classes, and I have a pet reptilian, so to speak. I went into this like place in Andromeda. It's basically like I call it the crystal place. It's kind of like the structure that has like tons of these like levels. Like it's like infinite structure, and basically tons of levels like floors and stuff. But each floor is kind of like a realm itself, so you can just keep on going and going and going, and there's no end to it. And there's plenty of crystals. And crystal is like a little bubble, right? On this little pedestal or like stand and stuff. So each crystal has kind of like a program for controlling this like physical universe. Controlling like, let's say, human population, controlling Pleiadians, controlling Andromeda and stuff. And specific mechanisms. Mechanisms that will not allow people to get out of the body, that will limit their energy, different kind of things. So there's a lot of these like variations of what can happen, and like I found this like reptilian in that place. First, like he was kind of like a little best reptilian, and I was like messing with him, but it just turned out like he was scared from his higher ups because they were threatening him and stuff. But we just became friends, and next thing you know, this reptilian is helping me in my missions. For example, I'm like doing a session and working with people, and I get attacked by another group. Let's say it's Grace, it's a reptilian, it might be someone else. And they're trying to put me in this like structure where they're like gonna limit my abilities to connect to the person so that I wouldn't be able to fully help or find some information. And this reptilian comes over and starts like biting their ass off, like really destroys their spaceship just like to give me time to focus and find the right stuff. And like it's pretty amazing. Like we've been working together for like a while, and then I was like like making sure like he's not bound to me in a way where like like hey, you have to help me all the time. I was just like making sure like find your own place, do your own thing if you want to help me, but if you don't, go do your own stuff. And basically, right now, he's working with some other groups, helping people out, and yeah, so, have we some reptilians? Yes, I hope that answers the question. Yeah, so there's plenty of questions, and I'm not sure if I should, turn on Deus Ex and start playing and answering questions, or if you're completely entertained by me just talking stuff, but yeah, just saying. Yeah, so that being said, I'm gonna link more of your questions. Okay. How does the Empire of Evil or Archons able to operate and create hell realms? Should we stop them with the snap of fingers using will and intention? Okay, so there's a few questions in this. How can they operate and create hell realms? It's basically pretty simple. they cannot create stuff. They cannot imagine. Like, they can use their technology to make stuff, but most of the time, what they're trying to do, and like with this new reptilian group I was talking about, like the White Ash Clan, they abduct beings like us, you, me, and everyone else who is a creator being, who can imagine stuff and create stuff. And what they do is, like, they try to turn us, like, unconscious. They try to, let's say, hypnotize us. You know, like how when you hypnotize people, you know, you get a command like bark like a dog or like a monkey, and you do that stuff, and boom, they're like, wake up. And you're like, why is everyone laughing at me? Like, what just happened and stuff? You know, you react that way, but you can't remember anything that happened. And so same way, they sort of like hypnotize us, and we can like be completely under their command, obeying their every order, and we are the greater godlike beings under their control, doing whatever they tell us to do. And they're like, okay, create this realm with this, this. And they're gonna tell us rules and stuff, and we're just gonna manifest it right in front of them, and you're like, okay, done with you, bye now. And we're like, wake up and like, what just happened? I just woke up this morning feeling like shit, ugh. And you feel knocked out and stuff, but the whole night you were creating this like weird-ass place that's gonna like trap people and stuff. So they use beings like us to create this stuff, but at the same time, let's remember that Archons and this like empire of evil and all these bad beings, not all of them are simply machines or beings without abilities to create. Some of them are beings like you and me, completely conscious. It's just consciousness who can identify with any kind of body, who can identify with anything, get any kind of shape and form, and they choose to play not a role as a human being on Earth, but as a consciousness creator and just seeing what happens. And they're basically like a godlike being who are able to create realms. And basically it's consciousness choosing a role like, what happens if I create a war here? What happens if I destroy beings? And this consciousness is not turning evil. It is just experiencing things, trying to find out stuff. And so consciousness ends up creating these realms and planets and planes that are like hell-like, or like the lower astral planes and stuff like that. And there's like infinite creations. For example, we talk about third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and traveling out there. But no one's talking about the in-between stuff. And the thing with the dimensions and stuff, realms, it's kind of like tuning the channel. Like, you know, you're on the radio channel, you're going 104.6, and then 104.666678910, like never-ending numbers, right? And each number will be a different realm, a different dimension. So every being can create tons of these like realms that can be either good or bad, and this way they can limit us and like just create a place where we might be teleported or spawned when we get out of body, or like when we wake up in this dream state and all of a sudden we get messed with, we wake up like, oh shit. So that might be harsh. So like, this is how, from my experience and opinion, they're able to operate and create these places. And then, to answer another question, shouldn't we just stop them with snap of the fingers? Yes, we should. If there are places that you see that are limiting others and it's like really not good, you can fight. But then we have to remember that just like there's like, let's say 7 billion people on Earth, and some of them are trying to fight a good fight and like getting out of body and doing something good, there are the same amount and even more of the people who are going to be like, what happens if I try to trap them? Because, for example, there are people even in this community that I work with. I have all kinds of clients. I have clients that have been victims of rape. I have clients that have been victims of, you know, abuse and stuff. But I have clients who are the ex-murderers, who are into hypnotizing girls and raping them, who are into scamming people, all kinds of stuff. I have all kinds of clients. And shouldn't I stop them? Shouldn't I stop helping them and stuff like that? Here's the thing. So like, there's variation of how we deal with people, but for those we see the need and stuff, like for example, like all these realms where people get trapped, okay, we try to remove them. But there are the same amount of people who are going to be like, I want to see what happens when I trap people. I know people like, there was like really popular guy, I don't want to mention his name, but basically gets out of body every single night, has abilities to create realms and like is really skilled, and a thing he wants to do is get out of body and scare other people. Scare them, mess with them, play with their things in their house, like kind of like gaslight them and stuff, because it's fun, because it's entertaining to see people scared. So some people want to help, some people want to get rid of these dark realms, some people want to fuck with others. So there's variations, and if we can help, great, but there's the same amount of people and beings. It's not just humans trying to do that stuff, it's just like plenty of others trying to mess with others. So just saying. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't know, it's been a while since I've been streaming, and I'm not sure, like, I I don't feel super comfortable streaming right now. I don't know if I don't trust myself, if I'm not confident, if I'm not feeling like my message is good enough, or usually the way it is like, I like to play video games when I'm streaming because most of the focus is on the game and not on me, is what I assume, and for, like, in that like regard, I feel more comfortable because I feel like the spotlight is not on me. When it's on me, like right now, like you just see me and I could actually make myself bigger because you like seeing my big fucking face. Sorry. You know, it's just like, I don't know, like I just feel like it's better playing a game because otherwise, like, I feel like the whole spotlight is on me and I'm not performing that good. So there's that, like, and plus it's a little bit cold-ish. And yeah, I guess. Anyway, that being said, let's get back to the questions. Should I turn on the game and just play while I talk to you, or should I just talk? Because, like, let me know what you think. Cause, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I messed up and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, continuing the questions. Roll Zolo is asking, where do our deceased pets go? Yeah, just dead pets go. It really depends on the pets, but really the good thing about it is that they're not really affected by these like soul traps and the dark side and stuff. That's really the good thing, because like when we look at, let's say, at the soul contract vocation stuff, there's this like connected to the like Earth's core, galactic core, like the infinite source, and the forces of divine source light. And the thing about like the last step, forces of divine source light, is basically the beings who are super loving, who are just like pure as can be. They don't really have this mind going, they're not messed up by the system, they're just pure love, pure affection and stuff. And that's what you see in dogs, that's what you see in like other animals, like cows and piggies and chickens and stuff. They're awesome animals, they're smart and stuff, and they're conscious, they feel stuff, they're smart, they're intelligent. Like, if you're actually able to connect with the consciousness within the body, not just the human body, but any kind of body, even like the tree, you connect with the tree, and the consciousness of the tree is an amazing being. The being that's able to experience everything through the roots, to be able to, let's say, I'm going sideways, it's not about the pets right now, but about the trees. That's not good, but I just want to give an example. We see a tree, like, yay, a little tree that has energy and stuff, we can hug them and stuff, that's cool. But have you ever looked at the way that the tree that grows right here, and every single, like, let's say birch tree that is right in front of you, and every single other birch tree on Earth will be connected at one. So the consciousness is shared, and basically the consciousness that is in the specific birch tree can actually connect to all the same kinds of trees in the world, and look through their point of views, experience everything from that point of view. And let's say there's a storm coming and the consciousness just plugs out, the tree gets like fucked up, and it basically plugs into someone else. It's amazing. Coming back to the pets, where the key pets goes, it's like they're not affected by the system, so usually they're teleported and they can literally be in a realm that is not affected by duality, and then it's more like they get like, they shapeshift and get the consciousness, and they can actually be kind of like humanoidish, or like be anthropomorphic animals, or just like simply animals, like whichever form they like. But they're really intelligent, they're really smart beings, and they can go anywhere they want. Like, they have complete freedom, they can move out of their bodies at any time. So yeah, they're pretty amazing. Just talk and don't play game. Yeah, you like me talking? Okay, yeah, if you like me talking, I can definitely keep on going. Okay, I kinda lost the question list. Where is it? Okay, I think I'm on it back. Yeah. Alright, here it is. So there. That's me talking and kinda answering your questions. Do you have some chill music? Something different? Okay, there's more questions coming in. And I'll make myself bigger because more people are watching me, so I guess I'll be okay. That's weird. Okay, so Chris Okai is asking, where do our dead friends go? Like, are they watching us? Ever since my best friend got murdered, every time I smoke, I can't handle it anymore. I get overly high, and when I lay in my bed, it keeps shaking. Okay, so like, there's a few questions in this. where do our dead friends go and are they watching? It really depends on people. Like, the thing about like dying, and I'm glad I made videos about this like today, there is no specific rules of how it's gonna end up. It really depends on the belief system territories, on how we see the afterlife, what we believe about it. And there's like lots of variations. Just because I'm saying it, that doesn't mean that it's all true, it's exactly like that. So, you know, hear what I'm saying, but also like check like what some people are saying. See what fits best for you, because the way I see it, and the way from my experience and listening to other people that I've talked to that have passed away, it's pretty much belief system territories, which means whatever you believe in will affect the afterlife. People who might believe in religion, you know, like they might actually, okay, when I die, I'm gonna go to heaven, and they're really sure about it, and they don't worry about it. Like they might wonder like, oh, what if I go to hell? If I was bad, I did this thing and stuff like that. But their core belief system is they're gonna go to heaven. This is where they want to end up. Physical body drops dead, and there's lots of variations. Some people might open their eyes and they're like, oh, this is my dead body and stuff, and so they're gonna look at their body sort of like, okay, I probably died, or what happened. So like people will have different kind of awareness. Whatever we know while we are aware and alive, we will know when we pass away. So death does not make us smarter, sadly. But basically, our belief systems will affect like the religious people who believe in heaven, and like depending on how they want it. Like for example, that Jesus will come and save them, or they might get like, let's say, some other figure come to them, or they might just like open their eyes and they're gonna be in this like heavenly cloudy place, and there's gonna be these like heights up here, like gates of heaven and stuff, and they're gonna walk up to it, go through all this like a line of people and talk to others. It depends how they see it. Others might be not related to religion, not related to any other groups. They're like looking like, what the fuck happens when I die? Like, I don't know what to believe in, because I don't know, like I haven't experienced it, and I hear stories from other people, but how do I know it's true? And we have all these doubts. But the safest way is to learn as much as possible. Learn about what are the possibilities, the good stuff that's waiting for us, the bad stuff. When you know the dangers, you'll be able to avoid all of these obstacles. When you know the possibilities, you'll know what you can do. So the best thing to do is like to create your best case scenario of where you're gonna go. Drawing it, thinking of it, using the AutoCAD or some apps to create your scenery and stuff, or simply going online, looking at pictures, and like, hey, here's this awesome world, I like it. So you choose these images. You might have seen like movies, you might have played video games, anime worlds and stuff like that. You choose a place that you like, and simply like, okay, I sort of want to go there, I want to end up there. So you sort of like create your perfect example, and you start programming yourself, when my physical body drops dead, this is where I'm going to appear. And then you make sure you program, and it's away from the physical universe, it is away from duality, there's no connections and no way possible that any archons, entities, any other beings that might have deception, that might want to use me and stuff like that, they cannot enter. So you kind of like program that stuff, making sure you're safe, and you can go there. So that's like those that are aware. But really, where do your dead friends go? Where do your family go? Like, it depends on what they believe in. And at the same time, it is just one aspect of them going there. If they end up reincarnating on any reason, whether they know it or not, whether they end up pushed there, or they basically, I want to go back, because like, why not? If they reincarnate, your like loved ones, your friends, anyone you know, it is just one aspect of them coming back on Earth. You can find the exactly same being out there in the multiverse. There's going to be another aspect of them. It will have knowledge of what happened on Earth. It will have connections, and it can shapeshift and have the form of your loved ones if you want it. That's if you want to find your loved one, but you know, part of them is trapped on Earth. But again, like, variations, lots of them. And you can actually meet other groups, or actually create a program where, let's say, you create a perfect world for yourself where you're gonna go. You can do the same thing for your loved ones. You can actually create okay, so I don't know where my parents will go when they die, but just in case, I can create a world of my own imagination and make sure, like, I kind of like put the program, this is where they're gonna go. And I'll make sure that when they go there, they will have enough time to understand what's going on and make their own decision. Do they want to stay there? Do they want to move on and do something else? Or do they really love Earth and want to come back for some reason? So whatever happens, you know, they will have all the freedom, but you will have the ability to do that for yourself and for your loved ones while you're here alive. You don't even have to get out of body. You can do that while daydreaming. Like, oh, what a nice day. It's kind of like raining, a bit cold, but like I'm just gonna daydream and okay, here's the mountains and a river. Oh, there's a little barn there with a few horses in the patch. You're basically daydreaming, creating this place in your head, or just in your imagination. Visuals, no visuals, doesn't matter. You can think about it. You can actually just like see nothing and just think about some of the things that you like. Maybe play Minecraft and create the world you like. And you create a place and you like put this program, let's say you sort of like put this anchor, spiritual anchor, where your loved ones will go. And they're gonna end up there. So it's like, it's a way to help them if you want that. But those that do end up reincarnating and stuff, that's another thing. So, hopefully, Chris, this answers your question. Also, Countless Moon. Holy guacamole, thanks for supporting me, like, I really appreciate it. That's a lot. I'll read your donation and everything, but I'm still like sort of like going down the comments and stuff, so yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, what else we have? Hi Matt, good seeing you here. Have I tried out to the cat planet? Yeah, there's quite a few. Like, Lyrans are sort of like cat-like, Sutrax, cat planets, like they're completely tiger-like beings. But there's plenty of worlds where it can be only doggies, it can be cats, it can be chicken world, it can be a watermelon world. Like, there's tons of variations, and the thing about getting out of body, or simply dying and being free from this place as a consciousness, you can create so many things. No limits. And all kinds of worlds. Like, only wolves, only sheep, only tigers, and whatever. Your own creation. And you can create beings from scratch. For example, how they're gonna look like, their own intelligence, can they evolve, can they not? And is it just a vessel that allows the consciousness to come in and experience these things? Or is it kind of like a, organic body without, like, kind of like an NPC? No soul in there, but like it's alive, it's moving and stuff like that. There's the variations, and cat planets, there's plenty of it out there. Like, like when we talk about like reptilians, it's not just like Orion and like reptilians here in the physical. There's plenty of them. There's reptilians in the fourth dimension who are scientists. They don't want to fight. They don't want to dominate. They don't want to get over like other people. They just really enjoy science. They're super intelligent. They can use their abilities to create things. I mean, like like user technologies and stuff like that. And they're just super involved in like, hey, can I create you a spaceship? What can I do for you? How can I help you? Do you have any ideas? And they're like small, or like, let's say, Nikola Tesla on steroids. Like, how can we help and what can we do? And they're going to new planets, like researching stuff, trying to help others. There's plenty. And it's fascinating. Like, the possibilities out there is just freaking good. Okay, have I seen reptilians in real life, or is it just my imagination? It's both. The thing is, I mage means I create, I manifest. And our imagination creates everything. So me, my life, all of you, is all my imagination, is all my creation, is a consciousness. You create me, I create you, everyone else creates everyone. It's kind of like, if we look at it that way, that's a part of it. What is our imagination? We sort of like, oh, I'm gonna imagine a world, and just think about it, like, here's a little realm, like anime world and stuff. You're creating it. You are manifesting it. It's not just imagining it. It's not just like, oh, it's just a little thing that does not really exist. It's just like, I'm thinking about it, but it's not there. Like, no. You are really doing it. People, for example, that can get messed with by the entities, by other beings, if they simply imagine beating the shit out of the reptilian that's messing with them, reptilian gets their ass beaten, and you no longer have the issues. So it's not your imagination. It is you doing stuff. It's just that it's putting a label, imagination, because people can't really do shit. It's kind of like a new age thing that like tries to sort of like limit us and like put us in a box of hey, you can't do that shit. Don't even think about it. It's trying to like basically suppress people and our abilities and our thinking and basically keeping us in fear. It's not it. No. The way I see it, and I might be wrong, but this is the way I sort of understand things, and it's working for me. We're creators. Our imagination is our biggest tool. Use it. Because once you imagine getting out of here, once you imagine beating the shit out of reptilians or someone who you don't like, you're actually doing it. If you imagine a reptilian messing with you, and you know there are, and you simply imagine like beating their ass, it's gonna happen. You imagine blowing up their spaceships, it's blowing up. So you have this most powerful tool, please use it. It's freaking awesome. Your imagination is your creativity, is your powerful tool, and it's a godlike thing. So yeah, go on. Coming back to having seen reptilians in real life, yes. In person, the thing is with me, I'm not sure, like, by labels as it goes, it's like a indigo kid or whatever the fuck you want to call me. But like, literally, I can go walk in the street, and I like being inside because I don't like looking at people. It's weird saying this thing, but the thing is, like, when I look at people, it doesn't matter who it is, I see entities around them. I see who is there, like beings, other kind of things, everything about them. Not like I can actually see like inside them and stuff, unless I focus and stuff, but basically like little entities floating around, like kind of like the snake-like being and stuff. Sometimes they're gonna have this kind of like reptilian. And the thing is about reptilians, they're multi-dimensional. So they can appear here and basically go back. They can be here and there at the same time. They're not really limited by this specific place. And it's not like shape-shifting. It's not like reptilian is here and then it merges and gets smaller and fits in a human body. It's not like that. It's more like, here's a human, here's a reptilian. They kind of merge on a spiritual and this parallel multidimensional level, and basically we see human, but on the multidimensional level, you can actually see the overlay of a reptilian who's actually within or like overlaying this being and have more control over it. So that's the way I'm experiencing this sort of thing. There are other people who have this sort of things, seeing and stuff, so yeah, that would be my answer. Hopefully it sort of like explains stuff, but yeah. More questions, and also letting my throat a little bit of rest. that's the thing about like playing video games. Like I get like a little bit of sidetracked, and I can fuck around with something while resting. But anyway, am I entertaining enough? That doesn't matter, right? I'm just small talking while I'm actually getting in zone to read other questions. Okay, so John was question 2. When engaging in simple mental fantasy of being, how do you know one is not affecting the real being in a negative way? If so, how does one stop that to where you're not affecting the other? It's pretty simple. Like, when you're like in the fantasy world, you can simply, as a programmer, set a rule: whatever I create will not affect any single being in the multiverse. It is just my own creation. It is, you know, my own making. I can put the image of another person that I might like. For example, John, I can create you in my own world. You're gonna be there, but it is just your body or your looks, and your consciousness is not there. Part of you is not there. And so if in this world we have some people we admire and we want to engage with them and talk to them, we have freedom to put them in there, as in their bodies. Their consciousness, we don't have to take it. And we basically put a rule to not affect them in any single way, which means they're not gonna get like in contact with us, they will not remember us, they will not see us or anything. It's basically, we talk to their sort of lookalikes, but no consciousness is connected, where like they're like not a thing. But then again, like, let's like see if I answered your question right. Yeah, there's another thing, like putting the intention, like the intention of when you wanna, like when you're engaging in the mental fantasy. For example, you're just sitting there thinking about stuff, fantasizing, just daydreaming and stuff. You can create things on any kind of level, but at the same time, you can just sort of like, okay, this is my own reality. This is only my realm. It does not affect anyone else. And while I'm here, I put the intention whether to just create the stuff or just to sort of see and think about it on my own terms and happiness, but that will not manifest. And so you have ability to put intention whether you want to manifest it or not. And basically, you can allow yourself to connect and to do something with it, or have no connections at all. So I hope it like sort of answers this question, sort of like gives you a perspective with it, but that's how I do it. Have I been to Atlantis? Yes and no. It's kind of like, in sessions, I had a few clients who had past lives that did in. They were living in the Atlantis world. Like they've been part of the civilization. A few of them lived before Earth was really messed up, before like a few billion years ago. So some of them like had this like Atlantis civilization. And the thing is, like, we talk about humans. We're not the original race, the one and only that like lives here. There are plenty of humans out there in the multiverse that will live like humans here and there and here, like Nordic humans, like all these like different people. Same with the Atlantis. It doesn't mean that Atlantis here on Earth is the only original place. There's gonna be plenty of Atlantis people out there with their own Atlantis worlds and like different like realms and stuff. So specifically like some of their planets and realms, I've seen them connected to their like civilizations, yes. Here on Earth, just one case. But even then, it's like kind of like a glimpse of what the person was going through, their technologies and abilities, but not that much. Like, I haven't been like really going into it, like looking at every single details and they're tracking it, like not that much. Okay, Matt, yeah, it's been a long time. You tried contacting me like a lot after the last session, but didn't seem to work, so you got rich. And if you're wondering if you're on the waiting list or on the working one, you're on the waiting list, Matt. I'm sorry. Like, I think I'll be able to get you done maybe tomorrow, at least one session. But let's check the schedule. Yeah, like, I was, like, able to be pretty productive where I minimize people from 200 into 150, but I can definitely get you done. So, yeah. Okay, Zach, back to you. Yeah, I sent you only one. I was wondering if I should do more sessions or not, because like from the emails you've sent me, I thought that I can handle more of your issues, but I just wanted to make sure like it is in your own interest and we're addressing specific things you want. So like I'm basically waiting for your reply to move on and do more work. White Black, thank you for all the support. Really appreciate it. Just want to make sure of one thing. Okay, yeah. Alright, whoops. Okay, Christopher, right? So is the soul infinite for everlasting creation? Pretty much, yes. The thing, like, think of it more as a consciousness. It's just a point of view, like awareness. It doesn't really have a body or a shape. It's not a thing. You can't touch it or anything. Until the consciousness starts identifying, let's say, I am the consciousness, and starts with I am and keeps on going into this programming until you become something. I am the body. I am Aquila. So consciousness gets the vessel and so finally we're into something, right? Consciousness, we're living for a zillion years and more. And this is not like, not billions, not trillions, not quadrillions. It just keeps on going forever. Like, you can actually, if you're able to sit down and work on yourself or have someone help you, you can go through your past lives to the very original point to where did you appear as Christopher? When was the one first time? And you can keep on going billions of like years later until like, oh, like you find your moment where you're like, I'm gonna, from this massive consciousness, split and be another aspect. And you are this big consciousness, or like, let's say, it's not like separate thing, it's not big or something, it doesn't really have a shape. It's just more like consciousness can decide to split and have more than one point of view. And experience trillions of lives simultaneously and stuff like that. So there's that, like, yeah. Consciousness is pretty much like forever lasting. Okay, yeah, I'll have to read your stuff on Facebook and emails where you wrote to me, and then when I see the bigger picture from what I read that you wrote already, then I'll be able to help you. Okay, is there a state of mind to be at the moment of death to avoid being placed in a reptilian Faraday's cage UFO trap? It's a really good question. I think, like, mainly is being aware that sort of like they exist, and sort of like I've mentioned before, you can choose a place to anchor yourself, to sort of like, let's say you create your own realm or a place you want to go to. You don't have to create, you can simply think like, okay, for like fourth dimension, my starseed family of Lyrans or something else. Like, basically, if you know someone, if you trust someone, you can simply, like, think of the spot. You don't really have to know all the details. You just sort of, like, okay, I kind of, like, think of it like that. And imagine, like, ship anchor, right? You know, like, it's there, like, heavy as fuck. So you kind of, like, drop the spiritual anchor, and this is where you're gonna go to. So you basically create your own spawning place, your own teleporting place of where you're gonna appear when your physical body drops dead. There's that. There's also sort of like programming, or like, let's say, you think of that like reptilian group that can actually, let's say, abduct the consciousness when we're in that like state of death. So when you think about these beings, you can actually go and talk to them, like literally, like leave a thread. Okay, like you don't have to see them, you don't have to go there specifically, but just like, okay, I'm thinking about this white tall reptilian that Vela told me about. It's kind of like scary. I don't want to end up there. So yeah, I'm just gonna. Let's say I go on a ship and there's just like white ass reptilians in front of me and he wants to abduct me when I die. And look, motherfucker, I'm not going with you. If you try to abduct me, I'm gonna make sure I destroy your whole fleet. And you simply think of that. These beings, you know, they try to target people that are not aware of their powers. If you are aware that with your imagination, with your ability to create things, you can actually destroy your whole fleet with one snap, they're afraid as fuck, and they will not try to get close to you. So it's more like, it's one of the ways they're messing with people, like we talk about soul traps, but it does not mean that it will happen to everyone. They're simply looking for victims that will not be ready for it, that will not be able to use their abilities. So if you basically know, like, okay, all I have to do is imagine stuff, and I can create anything. And if I see reptilian, I'm gonna turn it into a bubble. And simply, you can actually create this, like, let's say, energy field around you. Like, you know, you sort of focus on yourself, and this energy shield you have around yourself, you program it. If there is this specific group that tries to target me, it's basically gonna deflect whatever they're doing to me. So if they try to beam you, cause you a headache, trap you, abduct you, it's gonna be deflected, and their whole spaceship or something will explode. So you create this program of like, okay, basically, so chill around me, and this is what's gonna happen, like programming. If this happens, then this happens. So if they attack you, if they try to abduct you, your rule is that their whole spaceship explodes, they're gonna disappear and stuff like that, and boom, it happens. So there's that. Like, it's actually pretty simple on the consciousness level. If you know what you're capable of, they're pretty much afraid of you. Yeah, I did answer, like, how do you pass on infections and injuries on others back, pretty much, like, in the beginning of the stream, so I don't know if you want to click on, like, go back and, like, listen to it and stuff, but, yeah. Okay, D, thank you. Okay, yeah, I just got your email. Yeah, I got your email. I'm gonna make sure, like, it's, starred and everything so that, you know, I don't miss you. So, yeah, thanks for putting extra effort and trying to get to us. Monica Heath, good seeing you here. John Roberts, hello. So right now I'm just like going through the comments, seeing what you people are saying. It always amazes me how many of you are here. It's like, I don't know. I feel like really honored that like all of you spend your time with me, listening to me, talking to me, engaging here in the chat. It's amazing. Like, it really makes me feel happy and kind of like puts tears on my ass, so I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Okay, what are these satanic beings the elite worships, and how do they help them? Regarding the help, is pretty much, it's not help, it's pretty much puppets. Like, imagine someone being in control of you. Like, literally, popes are controlled by other ETs. Like, literally, we have people in high positions that completely have no control of their body or anything. It's kind of like channeling, but like overtaking the body. Like they have full control of the actions, of how the body moves, of what they're gonna say, or like take over the consciousness, and all of a sudden, you know, like they're gonna beam you on what to do, and like if you don't do that, you're fucked. So they're like all of these elite people. They're not the ones that like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna help you and we're gonna like have really, really good conduct and stuff. Like these are mere puppets. And meeting with ETs, they're gonna be like, but pretty much like humanity is over here and all the others, like even Grace, are above us. Like a sin for those that are in the government, they can't do shit. So this is the way I sort of see it. But like, what are these Satanic beings and like that elite worships? They're stunts, and like it's kind of like the whole hierarchy. We have Marduk is like one of the biggest ones. Marduk, Anu, Enki, and Lil. Like these are like, so like the elite might not specifically go with their names, but the whole like Anunnaki reptilian bands, Anunnaki like humanoids, plenty of them. Reptilians, some of them, like with the whole reptilian thing, they're not into killing and fighting. They're more like mind control, like controlling people with the fear and stuff. Like specific groups of reptilians will be more like, okay, let's be smart. They're gonna be our puppets, and if you don't do what we're telling you, we have the Anunnaki canine who are like freaking killers. They're gonna kill you if you don't do that. So you better work with us. Simple as that. So we're like, oh shit, we're gonna be fucked if we don't work with them. So okay, deal. So pretty much like that. Grimnesty has a lot of videos that show you how to see faces in trees and plants. It's pretty cool. John, I think it's like pretty awesome because like I have a buddy, he can actually look at the photos of people and using Photoshop sort of reveal the entities behind us. Like I might pull up, it's probably a different PC. Let me look. I'm pretty sure like I can actually find a photo or something, and yeah, let's try this. I have a friend who can literally look at people and stuff and reveal the entities behind them, like whether it's like rich people, like the elite, or simple people, doesn't matter. You can actually see reptilians, greys, like tiki kind of beings. It's pretty awesome. Let's see. Hopefully I'll be able to find it easy enough. Okay, so or let's see if I can. I'm not sure if people are interested in that stuff. I just like I'll pull it up if I can. Okay. Right. I'll try to open this like in another tab. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna make my photo smaller. Oh shit, that didn't work. Yeah, and if you look at this, like, you can actually see the cat, and so this guy basically reveals stuff behind the cat. And over here you see kind of like this grayish being. This grayish being is like kind of like giving like a plant thing to the cat. And here's kind of like a snake looking thing and stuff. So like, it's pretty awesome, because you can actually use the apps to reveal these beings behind the stuff. And here's more stuff. Like, this is the plant. This plant is kind of like psychedelic. It's like, it's actually a bit poisonous for animals, and it has a bit of like psychedelics and stuff, and you can actually see these beings. So it's pretty cool. You can actually uncover a lot. Like, he sent me, you might have seen my videos with him. So yeah, I think like I might dig it up a bit later. But yeah, he has videos where, I mean, like, we talked and stuff, and he shows up and, like, reveals the elite, Bill Gates and others that have other ETs. So, it's pretty fascinating to me, at least. But, yeah. That being said, back to answering comments and stuff. So, yeah, like, John Roberts, like, that was, like, pretty much, like, talking about what you were saying, with the seeing faces in trees and plants. It's kind of like looking at these patterns, for example, like, I don't know, like, just looking at a table or some other, like trees and other things, just, like, sitting there chilling, and you actually see, like, faces popping out, like, it's definitely a thing. It's pretty fascinating. Okay, so why do these trees and animals get a pass from all the challenges we go through? It's pretty much like, how to say it? As a consciousness, we choose on what kind of level we're playing. And for example, as human beings, like, this is the physical body that we get and stuff, we are still in the form of creator. What we think about, what we imagine, we can manifest super easy. And for us, we're more of a danger because now other beings are aware that, like, oh shit, if they think about us, if they know what we're doing, they can fuck us up. And basically, they're aware of us being able to mess them up. They don't like it. Animals, on the other hand, is like more like limited. Yes, they can create, yes, they can imagine stuff, but they're playing on a level where they are not engaging with the elite. They're not getting in the way of, like, let's freaking fight each other. Like, it's like, you can go, like, imagine, like, this, again, like, war scene. We are fighters, we are doctors, we are here, like, this is, like, this whole earth, this whole physical, like, dimension, is like this massive battlefield. In order to escape, you have to get the fuck out and really far out of here if you're lucky. You know, like, you have to, like, work your ass off. And, you really have to put a lot of work. For animals, they're not fighters. They're not to heal. It's pretty much, like, kind of like in the form of entertainment that you look at it and it's like, it's harmless. It can't really mess with you. And so, like, on that level, spiritual level, like, they can do a lot, but they're not doing. It's like, pretty much, like, they're looking at the form of supporters. They're here to sort of support, to be here for us, to give us something, or just to live and, like, just, like, let's say, enjoying the planet and stuff, but they're not here to fight. They're not here to do something really, really big. It's in, like, we're talking about the Galactic War, because, like, on the levels where they're here to support people, that they can love us, that they can give us, that they can teach us about love and connection and loyalty and stuff, it's awesome. They're doing a freaking great job. Like, these animals, trees, plants, like, nature, freaking great. But they're not fighting the big fight. We are. And we're getting all the attacks. We're getting all the obstacles. Because, like, others, they're not going through it. So, hopefully that answers your question, or, like, that's at least how I see it. Okay, so if humans were created by the extraterrestrials, does it mean that extraterrestrials created the soul? I want to know who created our souls. It's basically, the soul existed in the first place. As in, like, consciousness is the first existence thing. Conscious, like, it's just that point of awareness. Like, okay, pitch black. And you're just awareness, like, you are aware of the darkness. And you're like, I want light in there. And boom, there's, like, some, like, lights in there. And you can create images and stuff. You can create forms. And as a consciousness, you are creating things. And then you move on into, what if I had a form? What if I had a body? And you can have, as a consciousness, you can form a body of a human being, a gray, another ET, and stuff like that. And then you're like, what if I, as a consciousness, split myself, and I was here as a point of awareness, but also had a bit of me in that body, and look at me here. And all of a sudden, you move a bit of your consciousness into other bodies, into other planets, into other existences and stuff. And this is where we are right now. It is not extraterrestrials creating the soul. Basically, we're the point of awareness, and the awareness can identify, or, like, let's say consciousness identifies with the being, and we end up limiting ourselves into the human body or, like, any kind of other bodies. So extraterrestrials, like other, let's say, reptilians, some of other beings, they have a soul. They're fully conscious. It's not like they're all NPCs. There are races, of course, that are fully, like, just as an organic body or, like, steady body and stuff, and might not have a soul, but there are other, like, ETs that have a soul, that they're conscious just like us, and they're simply experiencing different kind of life form. That's it. Okay, is the reincarnation trap created by the Archons so they can feed from our energy? Yeah, pretty much, you're right about it. It's like, it's a great way to limit beings like us. For example, this whole physical plane can be looked at as a little dimension. What the fuck is this song? Get the fuck... Sorry. So, yeah. I was like... Where was I? As a consciousness, we create a body. I'm just looking for a nice song in the background that does not annoy me. Okay. Back to it. Round number 3. Consciousness can create this, like, let's say, physical realm, and it's like, oh, nice, and like stuff, and the consciousness is gonna play around. But then other beings sort of like, hey, I want to be in domination, I want to be in control and stuff. And they create technology that will sort of like trap us and stuff like that. It's basically big beings, consciousness, fights each other, they're not getting along. It's like you and your best friend. You have different opinions, you want to do different things, and one of you will win. And let's say your best friend has, like, hey, if I get the money, I want to be in control. And you're like, if I get the money, I want to help people. Like, no. I have better plans and stuff. Like, so you two fight, and like the best buddy goes dark, kind of like thing. So it's pretty much like that. And then we have other minions like coming in and actually taking over, and now they have more control. And there's like various reasons for like having these soul traps. Having deluge, that whole energy thing is one of them, but the biggest part is like beings like us, who are infinite, who have lots of creativity, imagination, ability to like manifest things. If they can limit us, if they can trap us here and sort of like put us in a box where we can't do anything. We're not going to be able to fight in a big war. We're not going to be able to affect them. We're not going to be able to do anything. And so they pretty much like got rid of the fighter. And all of a sudden they just have to shoot little people. So basically, imagine, look at yourself, like, again, like it's kind of like the metaphor of a war, like this massive war, right? You are like kind of like a medic. Medic can heal or like help out all the hurt soldiers. And so every hurt soldier is like people here in the world, and you're trying to wake them up. You're trying to share information. You're trying to do something. And they're like, hey, I finally found out what's going on. And they're going to fight. They're sharing information. They're trying to change the world and stuff like that. Trying to fight back the elite. And they get shot. As in, like, they get like messed with by their like laws and rules and entities and other things. And you try to get rid of the entities and stuff like that. All of a sudden, you work on it. And they know that with all your imagination, with your creativity, you can handle them. You can explode their spaceships. You can win the war. If they can put you in this like soul trap, make sure you suffer through a lot, you're gonna get out of there like a zombie. Like, you know, you won't be able to do stuff. You won't be able, like, right away, you're not gonna be able to, like, take care of the trap and stuff. You're, like, pretty much in the state of being fucked up. And then they put us here on Earth, and we're like, what the hell is going on? So it takes us a while to wake back, to remember what the hell is going on. And like, oh, soul traps, now remember, and now we can fight it back again. But if we're out there, we are their biggest enemies. We're a massive threat. So our imagination, our creativity is the biggest weapon you have. Okay, yeah. Also another question, like, why do some people get trapped by archons and others not? It's pretty much like a point of awareness. As an example, you know, one day you're walking in the street and you're like, let's say you are in New York, you're walking, and down the alley, there's a person getting messed with. There's a person getting robbed, and you're like, oh shit, I should be careful. Next day you're walking on the street, you already have a pepper spray, you already have a gun, and you're ready. You know, like, if they attack you, you're ready. You just let them, like, you went to the martial arts lessons, you're like, okay, if they come at me, I'm ready. Come on. And you're sort of like, you know, like, you're ready. And as a consciousness, you are aware of dangers. You are aware of what can happen. So when you go out there, they are afraid to jump at you because they know you're going to be able to protect yourself. But then there are those that are like, New York is an awesome place. You know, and they basically get shot, they get killed, they get robbed, because they're kind of like naive, unexpecting things, having no awareness of what can happen, not even giving a damn about the dangers. They think like New York is the best place to live at. And then they get surprised by getting robbed, by getting attacked, by getting hit by a bus or something like that. Lots of variations. So out there in the multiverse, it's like, they're not expecting for archons. They're like, hey, look, my grandma's coming. And it's like little like reptilian, like looking like your grandma, like, I'm gonna meet this motherfucker. So yeah, that's pretty much like how it works. Like these like reptilians and other beings, they have, for them it's so easy. They all you have to tell is a story, just lie their ass off with a little bit of truth in it. And we believe it, we're like, yeah, I agree with you. And we're like buying their story, and then they win. So pretty much like it's the matter of the awareness and how ready we are. Because like if we're expecting like, okay, reptilians might come at me, like other archons, other beings, they might try to trap me and stuff. We are ready, we are aware, and they know that they better not jump at us. So yeah, that's how it works. It's pretty much like fun talking to people. It's kind of weird because I call this thing like playing Deus Ex, and here I am just like, chat. Actually, I'm having fun. How about you people? Are you okay with me talking it up? And there's a lot of great questions. I'm actually really engaged. Okay, another question. I'm scared of entities at night, and that's a bit stopping me from trying to get out of body. What do you think could be done? Anyway, you are great, and anyway, you're great, and thank you for what you're doing. Luigi Morris, it's a great question. The thing about entities, it's kind of like if you've ever gone through the night terrors, if you've ever gone through nightmares, you basically wake up, or like, let's say, you open your eyes and you're just in like weird realm, and you're experiencing something terrible that's gonna shake you up. Like for me, I really don't like spiders. Like when I was a kid, I'm like really going sideways to for like backstory to build up to answer your question. But basically when I was a kid, I could have anyone in my arms. I could pick up spiders and they're my best buddies, and I'm just like find the biggest weirdest spiders, like, hey mom, look what I found. I'm like, fuck, get out of there. Like, so basically I bring all kinds of slimes and bugs and like all like anything that I don't like right now. And like back then my stuff wasn't triggered. I was like completely clean, right? And so like I'm enjoying this stuff, like yeah, it's great. But then one day I sort of like get triggered, like let's say past lives are super easy to recall. And again, like I'm just gonna remind it, like I'm just building up to the story. But basically one day like I was helping out my grandparents, and like sort of like they were like it's kind of like mowing the yard except with the scythe. So, you know, you're like back in the old days when you didn't have the mowers and stuff. And I was like right there like carrying the hay, and I had like massive boots like up to my knees. And I take it off, and there was just like just imagining it. Oh, I hate spiders. But anyway, there's this like spider, like it's about like fat, fluffy, hairy, and it's on my leg. And that little part triggered the incident of the past life where I was sort of like spiders crawling on top of me, stabbing me, and basically it's kind of like putting their stuff, like they can like they can connect to you and literally access your consciousness and basically suck part of you and like stick you in their realm, and like it's kind of like eternal suffering. And there's a lot of ways past life incidents happens, but that was like that was just like one instance that I recalled. And I have a lot of experiences with spiders. Like imagine just like you in this arachnid world, and these 20 feet tall monsters are jumping on you, trying to kill you, trying to conquer you because they're fully intelligent. They're like, ah, intruder, kill them. And we're like little people like, hey, this is gonna be our world, let's go, and dead next minute, you know. So there's a lot of these various like why we have fears, and this like triggered me. So ever since I recalled all these arachnids, all these bugs killing me in my past lives tons of times, and I am freaking afraid. I mean, like, it's not like super bad, but when I see a spider in my bath, I'm not gonna go to the bath. If I need to take a shower, I'm gonna be like, okay, who can help me clean out the room, because I'm not stepping in there. Like, I'm really keeping my distance. So like it's kind of funny, like my imagination, I can fight against reptilians, like yay, all fun, but I have not worked on myself to clear out like these whole spider issues. Like I don't want to go there yet. Like it's not like I can't confront it, I'm just like not giving myself a thing. So spiders, right? And like all these like fears we have, I do not want to wake up when I'm out of body and be in a spider world. I can go there, I can confront these things, but this is not the first place I'm going to choose. So like I will do everything I can to avoid this. So having fears of entities, having fears of reptilians or anyone else popping at us at night when we're trying to get out of body is a big thing. Because we want to get out of body, we want to be free, we want to be like, hey, I finally can do my thing. And the last thing we want is a freaking weirdo jumping on us and scaring the shit out of us. And we really don't want that. So, okay. It's stopping you from getting out of body. And what can be done? So one thing is possibly looking at, like, just yourself. Like, okay, having, like, being afraid of, like, scared of entities. This would be your items. And so you would have to talk it out to see what is, like, you know, like, what might be some of the reasons for being scared of entities at night. Well, they will jump on me, and they will scare me, and I don't want to see their ugly faces. Like, I hate being startled, and basically start talking it out. And then, you know, what does scared of entities at night suggest? Well, that I've been attacked before, I've had night terrors, and I really don't like the feeling. I just don't want to go through it again. And my body gets all shaken up, and it's really hard to shake off and stuff like that. And you basically ask yourself questions, just allow yourself to talk it out. to the point until you get kind of like a different awareness, different perception of what is the issue. Is it really the entities that you're scared of? Or more like, I just don't like this feeling and I don't want to feel this again. Seeing that being is just a thing, but the feeling I get from them is like, ugh, I don't like that. And that would be your next issue, like the feeling maybe. Or maybe some other reasons. Maybe in your past life you've had a thing with them and you really like had an like encounter where they messed you up. So it's like literally a matter of like looking within and trying to find what is it exactly that you're scared of. Is it the entity? Is it their looks? Is it the things that they can do? Because like, okay, scared of entity. Why? Are they gonna scare you? Are they gonna jump on you? Or they're gonna kill you? Or they're gonna shout at you? Or are they gonna have different looks? What specifically? Once you are aware of what is it about the entities that scares you, you're gonna have a better understanding. And we're like having this kind of like fear of the unknown. So the better we understand the situation, the better we're gonna have like abilities to control, confront these things. And then you can actually look at the past like times when, like what happened when you got scared? How did you feel that when? And like how did you handle these things? And so just talking it out, you're able to let it go. So that's just like one thing. One thing is like to become more aware of this situation, to become more aware of your feelings, of your emotions, like what you're going through and stuff. Another thing is actually thinking what kind of entities can actually attack you? How can they look like and stuff? And then you can actually try putting this energy shield around you, creating beings that will be there in your room or around you whenever you are, like, you know, like go out in the world and stuff. And these beings on the astral level will protect you from entities. You can actually choose your spawning point where you're gonna appear when you get out of the body. So it means like away from entities, away from duality, other places. So you have like ways to handle the issues. Like one thing is becoming aware of what is it that scares you. Next is looking for ways to go around it. Like you actually don't have to encounter things and you can actually, okay, I'm gonna get out of the body but have no visuals. And you get out of the body and you sort of feel things. Oh, what is this shit? Oh, it feels weird. And, oh, just spaghetti, okay. So, you know, you can actually have variations, but I say like teleporting, like just thinking of yourself going somewhere else that you haven't like actually been, like away from Earth and stuff. Somewhere where you would love. Just imagine, you know, this like perfect place, your paradise and stuff. Create like your own personal paradise. It's gonna be your paradise in the pocket kind of thing. And you can always improve it, change it up at any time and stuff. But basically, once you know it, you can sort of like just like put yourself like at like intention that whenever you get out of body, you teleport there, and no one else can come in unless you invite them or you allow them. And so you can actually have rules of who can be there: puppies, cats, doggies, and other kinds of things. Entities not invited. And so you basically put rules and limitations, and whenever you get out of body, you're gonna appear in that realm, but no one else will be there to affect you. So yeah, Luigi, hopefully that answers your question, and I'm actually finally getting warmed up and getting hot here, so that's weird. But I guess that's good. Okay, just Robert, hi, where are you from? I think you're Russian. Oh, you know English pretty well. So yeah, I think like I'm a quarter Russian. My mom and grandparents are Lithuanian. My grandfather is Russian. My grandmother was exiled when she was a kid. Basically, my great grandfathers with their okay, my great grandfathers, great grandparents with my grandparents from my dad's side were exiled to Siberia during the time when Russians invaded Lithuania. My great grandfather was like more like a partisan, book smuggler. He was basically fighting the whole takeover Lithuania thing, and because of that, he was like, he had a choice to fight him and go into the forest or stay in the city and actually obey and stuff. And he was more of a fighter, so he was caught up. Like the Russians invaded the whole thing, like killed off his family. Like he basically had 10 kids, and like most of them were shot up and just died in front of his eyes and stuff. Like, hey, backstory and stuff. But basically, my great grandparents and grandparents were exiled to Siberia from that side. And my great grandfather like went to these like concentration camps. So if you know them, like he's been there like for 10-15 years. He's seen a lot of shit. He never talked about it. Like it's the only topic that really hurts him, and he was basically never bringing it up to like it's pretty horrible. If you've seen World War movies and stuff, you will know sort of about it. But yeah, he's been through it. Found his family like after like surviving the concentration camps. He found his family in Siberia. His daughter by then, like my grandmother, was able to like move from their little like village and like super cold area. Like they had to work like the hardest labor, like you know, like cutting wood and like stuff like that, like nothing to eat and shit like that. But basically, grandmother had ability to finally go into this like Russian school, and from there into the college and stuff. And then she became a doctor. There she met my grandfather, who was a Russian like captain and stuff, like literally in the army. Like he had like high level rank. Then they got married. Then they moved to Lithuania. Then they had my dad, and my dad married my mom, who was from Lithuania, like Ignalina. And then they had us, and I was in Vilnius. So there's this. My grandfather like was a like Russian, and so like I'm a sort of like I guess like quarter Russian. So yeah, there's a bit of backstory, huh? But yeah, that's a cool family. Actually, like my great grandfather is my hero. He's like awesome person. I'm still like trying to get my government to allow me to access the archives, because there's like access like the like archives of like what specifically happened in there, and I really want to like read all about it to like sort of like know historian what he's been through, but it's like kind of like hard to get to it. So anyway, okay, Countless Moon, like you donated $20, like I really appreciate it, and finally I'm getting back to your stuff, and like I'm really slow getting back to you all. Okay, so yeah, you wanted to help me to support what I'm doing in a way you can currently. Thank you. You're glad you caught me stream before going to work, and okay, so how do I set myself up for a walk, and who will agree to finish my contract before they do their work? Let me read it again. Oh, walk-in, okay. How do you set up yourself for a walk-in? Who will agree to finish your contract before we... Okay, so like, talk about walk-ins. Countless Move, that's a great topic. Walk-ins. So, the thing with them, it's not really hard to find them, because any other being who is willing to come and take your body, walk-in is basically another consciousness that some say they're like more advanced and stuff, but not necessarily all of them. They just have ability like looking for another way in, and specifically like incarnating on Earth with the birth process is like the original official way in, and this way people get most of the contracts and stuff. If you come in as a walk-in, for example, you basically sort of like go around the system, and you don't have to agree to most of the steps. So if you are a walk-in, you do not go to the soul contract agreement process, and you don't get messed up that much, but you do take over the body with all the other agreements and stuff like that. That being said, finding one is pretty easy, because there's plenty of beings wanting our bodies, but finding the one that will agree to finish up your task is a bit harder. So basically, another being can come over and take over, and basically it's kind of like physical body here, you're in it with your consciousness, and you decide, I'm gonna leave, and the walk-in can take over. So you are out, you don't have to come back ever, you're out of the picture, and another being comes in and now lives in your body. With your memories, with your life, with your story, everything else, they'll be able to have full memories of everything that you experienced. So, with the whole thing said, how do you set up yourself for a walk-in who will finish your contracts, you know, who will finish your mission? For example, you might set up like, okay, let's say you might have a family, you might have kids, and you just want that walk-in who comes in, like another being, to take care of your family. Or maybe you will have other things to like do in life, and like, you know, kind of like a goal. That is part of it. Like, look at like to finish your contract is like the way I'm looking at it, because like to finish your contracts is in like soul contracts that you've like agreed to. There's not a must be. Like, the more you break of them, the better. But if you have like a mission to, like, let's say I want to do this, or I want to get out, but I want the other part of me to take care of my family, take care of my loved ones, to take care of my relatives, keep it like being in this job or work in this team and stuff like that, like whatever you have, that's the thing. So basically, same way how we write our story of life, how we program our realms, like the rules of who can come in and who cannot, you can actually set up the standards of beings that are there, that I will allow to take over this body when I'm gone, will only be able to be here if, and then you name it. Like, if they're gonna take care of my family, if they're gonna take care of my loved ones, if they do this. So you name all the needs that you want to take care of once you leave, and the other one being takes over. And basically, you can actually set up like, so if there is a being that fits all of these standards and is okay with finishing these things, please contact me in my dream or telepathically send me a message. And one day you can actually just like go and watch TV and something, and you start getting fussed, like, hey, I'm here, what's up? And you're like, who's here? Who's talking? And like, you know, you're getting like, why am I thinking this? But the thing is, like, there's going to be another being talking to you, and they can actually project these like thoughts and ideas and like really like talk to you and stuff, and they will be able to tell you all they're gonna do and like their missions, their goals and stuff. Because a lot of people, like let's say that will take over your body, they are okay with finishing your stuff, with finishing your mission, with like actually satisfying you and stuff. And the other part, you know, is like they just want to be here as like a sort of like backup entrance, not affected by the agreements, and they can continue doing their mission with actually, okay, taking care of the family easy, because they don't really have needs. It's like they're not affected by this whole world, by the system, so it's not like, oh, we just want to have sex and want to do this and this and this and this. All of these needs are sort of like backup thing, because like when you're out there in the multiverse, when you play this game of like life in the different forms, you kind of like lose the need of like satisfying the human needs and other things. All of a sudden, like this whole material stuff becomes a small thing, and you're more of a spiritual being. So when you find being, like let's say a walk-in that's gonna fit your standards, they don't like care about the material world, so they're like fully focused on, let's say, specific goals, and your stuff to satisfy it will be easy enough. Like, oh, family, okay, I can satisfy that. Like that's pretty much like setting up standards for yourself, and then you actually can allow those beings that's like fit your standards to sort of contact you, and if it fits, then it's just a matter of practicing getting out of body, working your ass off to get out and not come back, and allow the being to come in and take over the physical body. So hopefully, Carlo, that I answered your question. That's definitely something that I can focus in and like sort of cover this topic in the future as well. Okay, there's a lot of questions and stuff, so I'm just gonna read over it and see what is up. Okay, Internet Animal. Hi Philip, could you advise how to be able to get out of body at will? I'm good at getting out in the early AM, but would like to be able to do it anytime fairly quick. The easiest way is to change your thinking about getting out of body. For example, we think about getting out of body like, you know, like we're gonna lay in bed, and sometime early in the morning, with all the REM positions, with all the wake up, going back to sleep and stuff, our physical body will fall asleep, our consciousness will be awake, and we can finally get out. This is like the standard way. We don't think about it as daydreaming, because literally daydreaming can be a way for you to get out of body. And so you might not be fully aware, like really out, like by all the 100%, but this is the way to start. For example, you're just like, okay, daytime, I'm just like here at work, and like you might have 5-minute break. So you just focus in, and let's say you're looking, like you put your hands up here, you're looking at your hands like, oh cool, I see my fingers and stuff, and you're holding your hand like sort of like, let's say, right in front of you, kind of like, you know, like kind of like this, I guess, yeah, sort of like straight up. And basically you imagine sort of like, you know, okay, so you're holding your hand straight right in front of you, and without moving it, you imagine moving your astral arm. And you actually, if you're able, you're gonna see your astral arm raising, or you're gonna feel it. So your physical arm is straight right in front of you, and your astral arm is going up. And so, okay, you can finally move your arms, for example, but then the whole point is like to be able to move your astral body fully. And while your physical body is fully like awake, and you're just sitting there, just like still, and trying to move your astral body. And like how we practice rolling out of bed, for example, like rolling out of the body when we're practicing getting out of body, basically same method with how, like, you know, like physical body is here, and you're trying to roll your astral body out of here. So if you can do that, literally, then you can sort of like imagine another like aspect of your astral body in your room. You basically put your consciousness in that part of you and sort of start walking around the whole thing. And the more you focus on it, the more consciousness you project into that astral body of yours. Next thing you know, you're sitting here fully awake, aware, and boom, your consciousness is at the astral body, and you're like, hey, there I am. I'm sitting. Wow, I'm out. Woo! And then you get too excited, and then you go back to the body because you just like change your emotions. So like, it's really the magic of like sort of like keeping that like neutral state, but practicing while being fully awake to get your astral body out of the physical, to be able to move, to do something with it, and then you have the whole freedom. So yeah, that would be my answer, but like it's totally possible. It's totally possible, and like a lot of people are doing it. So yeah. Also, like another thing like I can bring up is release work. If you've heard like maybe Rich One with TX talk about it, like this whole like asking yourself questions and just like talking it out, there are times when we talk it out and we realize new things, and by realizing it, it's kind of like our vibration changes and we get better. Like, hey, like you just basically get like so much stronger and so aware that like your awareness can actually go out of body, like you shift it, so you can actually see like above, like, hey, that's my head, wow, and you walk around with yourself and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that'd be the thing. So I've been talking for a while, like I think for a few hours now, like an hour and a half. But it's about a minute for me, and I should go. There's like still a few projects I have to do, but I really enjoyed being with you people. I really enjoyed answering all the questions. I'll have to save all of your questions and stuff, because there's like plenty of things to cover in the next videos and stuff. But again, like I really appreciate you all tuning in, talking to me, watching me, being here. It's awesome, and we definitely need to do more streams like that, because I really enjoy it, and I feel like just the whole like community we have right here. You're awesome. All of you are great. So hopefully you get something out of my streams, and maybe you can apply something. But like, be sure to take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. So again, like really, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.